So far in XD, we've been making our own content, simple buttons, text, things like that. But a lot of this is kind of already done for you with what are called UI kits or user interface kits. And there are certain standards that people use for both web design and app design. And in this class, since this is a web design class, we're going to be focusing on the web portion of this. So within XD, we have these freely available UI kits that we can use to kind of prototype and get things set up and create our wireframes, and then later we can create our own buttons and our own unique styles, right? Because we definitely don't want to just be using the defaults. But, these are wireframes, these are prototypes, so it's good to have them available and easily accessible. So let's go File, Get UI Kits, and within this there's a bunch of different options. Now, Apple iOS, Google Material, and Microsoft Windows, these are really largely more for app development. In our case, we're going to go for wireframes. Whenever we click that, it should open up your browser. And it's going to go to Behance and go to a wireframe UX UI development set. Now again, a lot of these are for mobile, as you can see here, but in this case it has some web stuff in it as well. So let's go ahead and click Download Kits. And it's going to download a zip file called wires. Whenever we open up that zip file, we can just copy those to wherever. I'm just going to copy both of them to my desktop. And these are just XD project files. So there's Wires Mobile and Wires Web. We're just going to use Wires Web for now. So I'm going to double click it. And it's going to open up as a separate project. So here we have a very, very, very large project with tons of assets. And we can kind of scroll into these different categories. So here's UI elements, forms, pricing table sections, call to actions and footers, and you can look through all of these. So I'm just going to go to UI elements to start and start zooming in. So again, remember, this is just wireframe. This is just things to go off of that we'll modify and make our own later. But something like a nav bar, right, where we have this really simple nav bar that has XD, feed, authors, explore, right, we can come in here and edit this later. But I'm just kind of looking through this and seeing if I like any of these, and these are pretty good. Here's kind of a side nav bar. Maybe I'll go with a side nav bar for this project. So all I need to do is just select this symbol. So this is just an asset that was created over here. And very easily I could Command C or Control C on Windows to copy it, go back to my other project and Command V to paste it. So now we've linked these documents together and we can override them and edit them here. To allow me to edit all of this, I'm going to right click it and say unlink symbol. So now I can edit this and I just extend it up. Say OK. Let's not worry about that responsive resize for now. Again, we'll get into that in a future video. This is a piece of text, so we'll call this poem or something like that. Make it a little larger. See, I'm just kind of making it my own. I'm going to go back to the other UI kit. There's tons of UI kits that you'll find everywhere, across the internet. So I might grab this like footer UI. Again, just Command C to copy it. Go back here, Command V to paste it. And then I'm going to just right click and unlink the symbol so that we can edit it. And I would want to go in, by hand and edit these things and make them look nice. So essentially, that's how you import content from other UI kits. To bring in content from, say, Illustrator or Photoshop, so within Illustrator, once I have my object, I can go File, Export, or we can Save As. And I probably just want to save it as an SVG. So an SVG is a graphic format that is still vector, but works really well for the web. So I'll save it, say OK, that's all fine. Let's go back to XD and go File, Import, and I can import my SVG file now and say Import. And it should look just like it does in Illustrator now. I clearly didn't scale it up properly. But one of the great things is I can still grab and modify these objects, even though I brought them in from Illustrator. So this is what I meant by it's much easier to draw something in Illustrator and then pull it in. Photoshop, it's the same type of system. I would just export a PNG or a JPEG and then go File, Import, and pull it in here.